Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to, we covered the overview of all the clauses. Today we're going to spend time on just noun clauses. Okay? And we're actually going to spend this week learning noun clauses. Okay, before discussing noun clauses, let's first review nouns and noun phrases. A noun is a person, place, or thing. For example, a person, a woman, a place, Houston, a thing, shoes. A noun phrase is a noun plus some more words. Okay. Example, a businesswoman, a small city, my pink shoes. What is a noun clause? A noun clause, this should sound familiar to you, is a dependent clause which behaves as a noun or a noun phrase, doesn't matter. A noun, shoe. Noun phrase, my pink shoes. Noun clause, what I'm wearing on my feet. No, this is, let's say I'm wearing pink shoes. It's another way to say it. How is a noun clause made? It begins with a noun clause word that introduces the clause and is then followed by a subject and a verb. This should all sound very familiar to you. Here's my formula. Okay, for my mathematicians, for my engineers, you like formulas, there you go. Noun clauses sometimes look like questions, but they are not questions. No, I'm going to explain. Also, just like adjective and adverb clauses, they're big brothers or they're cousins, noun clauses are dependent, which means they cannot exist alone. If they are by themselves, they are fragments, pieces. And let's remember this, the subject and the verb inside the noun clause must agree. Okay? Okay, how are noun clauses introduced? What are our noun clause words? Just like I said here, there are three ways to introduce a noun clause. A, with question words. B, with whether or if. And C, with that. And in this slideshow, I am going to go through all of the possibilities. Everything you need to know, in detail. Okay, let's talk about this. Noun clauses made from question words. Where does Fabian live? That's a question, right? Mm-hmm. That's a question. That's a complete sentence, a complete thought. It's correct. It's complete. Yeah? Mm-hmm. How do I make that into a noun clause? I start with my noun clause word. What is it?
Wait.
My noun clause word. Where? Subject? Verb?
Lives.
Lives. That's this lesson here. Okay? Where Fabian lives is a noun clause. Where does Fabian live? That is a complete question. Now they're close, right?
Yes.
They're close. So let's get this correct. Let's get this correct. Okay. What time is it? Okay, let's turn this into a noun clause.
What is the time?
What?
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's keep what time together. This is an interesting one. But okay, let's keep what time together. What is the what time? What's the subject? It is.
It is.
Okay, that's what you said. What time? It is. This is not a question. I'm not asking you a question. If I want to ask you a question, I say, what time is it? This is not a question. When will you be home?
When you will be home?
When will you be?
Okay, now that's the question. Now the noun clause. What's the noun clause word?
When will you be home?
When,
You
what's
will
the
be.
subject?
You.
You, what's the verb?
Will
Will
be
be.
home.
Okay, this is question order. The noun clause is statement order.
Statement.
Okay, like a period. Noun clause word, subject, verb. Noun clause word, subject, verb, will be. Everybody see that? You see how we're making the clause?
Yes.
Why did you leave? That's a question.
Why?
Why you leave?
Why
Why
you
left?
left?
Why you left?
Why you left?
Good.
Why?
Keep the tense the same. Don't change the tense. Yeah. Why did you leave is not a noun clause, it's a question. Why you left. This is all about form, just making it. How do we make the noun clause, not about function yet. What has he accomplished?
What has he accomplished?
What he has accomplished.
Okay, it's actually the same order.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not, sorry.
No.
What he has
Russian
accomplished.
practice the stress different.
Okay,
No, not, it's not only the stress, the order is.
No, yeah, yes.
Okay? Listen, I want this to be clear. I didn't put a period. There's no punctuation here. It's not complete.
Yeah.
It's just a fragment. There's
Yes.
no punctuation because this is not a sentence. It's dependent. It needs something else. Okay? Do you see the difference between a question and a noun clause? Okay. Let me tell you something. If you make a mistake with this, I understand what you want. It's not a mistake in meaning. It's not a mistake in comprehension. It's a mistake in grammar. So if you get this wrong, a lot of people do, I still understand what you want. If you tell me, excuse me, can you tell me what time is it? I know what you want. It's not correct. You would say, excuse me, could you please tell me what time it is? That's correct, but you're going to get the time. I'm going to tell you the time. I understand your question. I understand what you mean. That's a noun clause. I understand what you mean. I get what you want. It's just not correct. Okay? So if I say, I don't know what has he accomplished. I mean, I know what you're trying to say. It's just not correct. Okay? I just want you to know, if you mess up with these, some other things you mess up, it interferes with understanding the message. But this doesn't. This is just bad grammar if you get it wrong. Okay, next. Noun clauses made from whether or if. Oh, and I forgot to mention in that over here, that's also confusing. Because I had whether or if with noun clauses, and I had whether or if with adverb clauses of condition. So that's also confusing.
Yes.
Okay? That's also where they're used in two different types of clauses. Okay, there are 5 ways to make a noun clause with whether or if. Number 1, whether plus the subject and verb. I wonder whether Archon is coming to the party. Number 2, whether or not plus the subject plus the verb. I wonder whether or not Archon is coming to the party. You know there's no difference between whether and whether or not. Okay, whether means whether or not. But why do we say it? I don't know, but we do. And pay attention to me. I probably use it about half the time. Naturally, I don't know why. Okay, whether plus the subject plus verb plus or not at the end. I wonder whether Archon is coming to the party or not. If, watch this one, if plus the subject and verb. This if is not condition. This is not a condition if. This is a different if. I wonder if Archon is coming to the party. I wonder if he's coming. I don't know. I wonder if he's coming. And finally, if plus the subject plus the verb or not. I wonder if Archon is coming to the party
Or not.
or not. And look, this one is not okay. You cannot say, I wonder if or not Archon is coming to the party. I can say whether or not, but I cannot say if or not. You know that, it sounds bad. Okay, how do you know that this is not a condition? How do you know that this is not a condition? Because if it's a condition, I can put it first and with no change in the meaning. Let's try that. If it's a condition, I can put it first, right? Because we said adverb clauses of condition, okay? If you love me, show me. Show me if you love me. Right? I can do that. So let's see if, does that work here? If Archon is coming to the party or not, I wonder. No, it's not a condition. It's not a condition. No, this is not a condition. This is just something. It. This is just it. I want you to understand, I'm going to go through this, that noun clauses, like nouns, like noun phrases, and like gerunds, when we get to them, they all can be substituted with the word it. Take the whole thing and just say it. And the sentence should make sense. Okay, so this if is not a condition. If it is a condition, then we can place it at the beginning or at the end and it doesn't matter. And the meaning is the same. That again is, if you love me, show me. Show me if you love me. It's the same meaning. But this is not an adverb clause. It cannot just go anywhere and have the same meaning. Okay, any questions so far?
Why go to the party?
What does he want to know? What does he want to know?
Where the party is.
What he wants to know.
Okay, that's not what he wants to know, but that is a good noun clause. What does he want to know?
What he
He's
wants to
going to the
know.
party.
What?
If he is going to the party.
Okay, he wants to know if he is going to the party or not. He wants to know whether he is going to the party. He wants to know whether or not he is going to the party. All right. Finally, noun clauses made from that. Okay, look, remember our formula. Noun clause equals noun plus word plus the subject plus the verb. So now, noun clauses made from that. That you understand the problem. That he is here. That Holly is a good teacher. That I have no idea what's happening today. You see? That subject verb. That subject verb. That subject verb. That subject verb. This is actually another noun clause, but okay. Now, none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense because they're dependent. They're incomplete. So let's try to add this to the beginning and let's see now if it makes sense. It is certain that you understand the problem. It is certain that he is here. And everybody?
It is certain. Okay.
I didn't say it. It is certain that I have no idea what's happening today. Okay. Okay, I'll come back to this one. Okay, now we covered form, correct? Let's talk about function, okay? You okay? No. The light is in your face, okay. Okay, let's talk about function. How do noun clauses function in a sentence? They can be the subject. They can be the object. And when I say object, the object of the verb and the object of the preposition, and I'm going to give you lots of examples. Something also called a complement. Okay, and I'm going to explain it. It's not in this book, but I'm going to explain it. It's called a subject complement and an adjective complement. Okay, those are, so what is that? Those are three functions of noun clauses, how they function in the sentence. Okay, number one, they can be the subject of the sentence. Just like nouns, right? Nouns can be subjects of the sentence. Okay, hear this phrase?
Yeah.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes.
But this actually, I think I need to change my example. So just let's hold off on this one.
Yeah, so.
Next one. Where you're from doesn't matter in the USA. Okay, in some countries it matters where you're from. I don't know what that, whatever. But in the USA it doesn't matter. In fact, where you are, noun clause word, subject, verb. This whole thing, can you see what I'm doing here? This whole thing can be substituted with it. It doesn't matter in the United States. What is it? Where you're from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This whole clause is the subject. We can substitute it with the word it, something. It, that, something. It, this is my subject, it. Here's my verb. Doesn't matter in the USA. Now look, if I asked you, I'm not going to ask you, but if I asked you, what's the subject of this sentence? What are you going to say?
A noun clause?
The whole clause, where you're from. That's the subject of the sentence. But now let's just look at the clause. The clause also has a subject.
Yes.
What? Yeah, you. You are the subject of the clause. But where you're from is the subject of the entire sentence. You can see it's getting a little more complicated, right? Because now I have a subject within the subject.
Yes.
This is more advanced grammar. Okay, so where you're from doesn't matter in the United States. So the blue is subject. Yellow is the verb of the sentence. Okay. Whether you pass this class or not depends on you. Noun clause word, subject, verb. It. It depends on you. What's it?
Noun clause? What?
Whether you pass or
Whether
not.
you pass or not.
It depends on you. What's it? Whether you pass or not. Okay, and let's go back to our condition. Let's just say, oh, but Holly, that looks like a condition. It's not a condition. If it's a condition, it can go first or last with no change in meaning. Let's try that. Depends on you whether you pass or not. That's really not a sentence. I can say it depends on you, but I cannot just say depends on you. It sounds okay, but it's not okay. There's no subject.
Yes.
Okay, so this is not a condition. This is it. It's not a condition. It's not a condition. If it's a condition means I'm going to have a picnic whether it rains or not. It means under any condition. If it rains, yes. If it doesn't rain, yes. That's a condition. And if it's a condition, I can put the condition first or second and there's no difference in meaning. I'm going to have a picnic today whether it rains or not. Whether it rains or not, I'm going to have a picnic today. I am setting a condition. This is not setting a condition. There is no condition here. This is just it. No condition. It's just it. What's it? Whether you pass. You're passing the class. It. That he was late for class doesn't bother me. That he was late for class. I can just take all this out. Just say, that doesn't bother me, or it doesn't bother me. What's it? The idea that he was late for class. That he was late for class doesn't bother me. Okay, and then I can add, what bothers me is,
Yeah.
okay, I can say
He
that.
was late for class.
No, that doesn't bother me. I said that's not, I said that doesn't bother me. So what does bother me? What bothers me is his bad attitude.
You miss the lesson.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, note. You cannot use if to introduce a subject noun clauses. Look, all of these are using a noun clause as the subject. Correct?
Mhm.
It's coming at the beginning of the sentence. It's the subject, comes before the verb. You cannot use if to introduce a subject noun clause. So you cannot say, if you pass or not depends on you.
Why? Why?
No.
That's it, that's the rule. You can't do that. It can't be the subject. It can be the object, it cannot be the subject. Okay, a little bit more, can we handle a little bit more
Yeah.
before the break? Are we doing okay? Let me just get through the objects. I think that will be enough for today's lesson. Okay. Most of the time, we use noun clauses as the object. That's why I said, what did I say, like 95% of the time, we use it as the object. We can use it as the subject, but most of the time you will see noun clauses as the object, either as the object of the verb or the object of the preposition. Okay, let's see. Do you know when class ends? I want you to understand this. Look, I can substitute this with it or something.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know it? What's it? When class ends. Do you know when class ends? I don't want you to get confused, and I'm going to spend some time. This noun clause is inside a question, but this is not a question. This is a noun clause. This whole thing is a question,
Yes.
but this is not a question. This is a clause, noun clause. So, do you know when class ends? Do you know it? Do you know something?
Yes.
Do you know when class ends? Okay, who can answer that question? How about answer it with, I don't know.
I have no idea when class ends.
And that is a perfect sentence. I don't know when class ends. I have no idea when class ends. Actually, I think if we do a little experiment to count how many times a day, in your own language or in English, I don't care, we actually say the words, I don't know. Probably some of the most common phrases, in our speech. I don't know, 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 I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
What?
Maybe I don't know.
And then you want to get this correct. What don't you know? I don't know when class ends. I don't know what she wants. I don't know what she said. How about I didn't understand? I didn't understand what she said. I didn't hear what she told us. I don't know what she wants from me. Okay. So, do you know when class ends? I don't know when class ends. Who knows when class ends? The teacher knows when class ends. Can you tell me something? Can you tell me if the bus passes here or not?
I don't know if the bus passes here or not.
We're going to practice a lot with this tomorrow. Well, we have tons of speaking exercises. It will be fun. We'll do a lot of moving around and just practicing with all of this language. Today I'm explaining it. Tomorrow we will do a lot of practice with it. Okay. I don't understand something. I don't understand why some students don't do their homework. Arkan, do you understand why some students don't do their homework? I don't get it. I don't know why some students just don't do their homework. Any ideas?
I don't know why some students do their homework.
Go figure.
Okay.
Okay? Go figure. Who knows? Okay. Can you see, guys, you look out the window. Can you see what I see?
No,
Can you see what I see?
No.
I cannot see what you see.
That's a noun clause. Can you see it? Can you see that? Can you see something? Can you see what I see? What I can see, doesn't matter. Okay. You're coming to my house. You can bring whatever you want. You can bring it. What's it? what you want. You can bring it, whatever you want. Anything. You can, in this class, no, in this country, you can say whatever you want. Almost. Except you may not threaten to kill the president. But I think otherwise, speech is protected. You can say whatever you want here. Okay? And in this class, you can ask whatever you want. You have a question? You can ask it. You can ask whatever you want to ask. Okay, this one I have to check. I'm not sure if I made a mistake on this sentence. Okay, next one. This is a famous song. This is the noun clause song.
Know who you are. Where are you from?
We got some singers in the back.
You lie.
That's it. I love that song because it's such a perfect noun clause song. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did. I think, what the heck is that? I don't care what you did. What does that mean? I mean, that is just crazy. I care what you did. You killed your first wife. I care. I mean, okay. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. That's a condition. I mean, that's a time. What is that? No, that's a condition. As long as you love me, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Is that as long as you love me? It's kind of a condition. So long as you love me. Okay. Okay. So I don't care
Who you are.
who. I don't care about it. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you did. As long as you love me. And guys, I want you to know, we are going to have a noun clause song contest in the class. Yeah, I'm going to post the details. There will be winners.
Cool.
Okay? You're going to get to examine your favorite music, English songs, and pick out the noun clauses. Okay? Huh? I was going to sing for you. You don't have to sing the song. You don't have to sing the song. We can listen to the recording. You could, if you want to. If you want to, you can sing the song. You can sing the song if you want to, but you don't have to sing it. But I'll explain. Anyhow, last one. Did you hear something? Did you hear that Shaheen had a car accident? Did you hear something? Did you hear that? What? That he had an accident. This must have been from a few years ago when I had Shaheen. Okay. Here's information you need to know. When we use that, you see I put this around. When we use that to introduce an object clause here, it can be omitted, it can be removed with no change in meaning. Okay? I think you know this already. Did you hear that Shaheen had a car accident is the same as did you hear Shaheen had a car accident? Did you hear it? Okay, before I go on, I might, is there more? Yeah, okay, one more. Okay, and then noun clauses can function as the object of the preposition. Okay, prepositions are followed by nouns. Okay, I'm going to sit on it, on the table. Okay, under the table. On, what's that? On the floor, in the house. Okay, prepositions are followed by nouns. They can also be followed by gerunds. They can also be followed by noun phrases, and of course, they can also be followed by noun clauses. Guys, they're all the same. Nouns, noun clauses, noun phrases, they all function the same exact way. Okay, object of the preposition. We may not use these for that clauses, and I'll show you why that sounds terrible. Okay? Number one, let's talk about it. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about how much the new car will cost. Okay, you want to buy a new car? Fine. Let's talk about how much it will cost. How much, subject, verb. Noun clause word, subject, verb. Let's talk about how much it'll cost. Okay. Genoveva is interested in something. She's interested in it. She's interested in that, whatever. She's interested in this. What? What is she interested in? She is interested in what the teacher told the class. In other words, she wants to know something. She wants to know what the teacher said. Not what the teacher did say, not what did the teacher say, what the teacher said. Ikram is upset about what Paula said. Talk about, upset about, these are phrases that go together. You made it, she made it to my PowerPoint. Okay, I'm worried about whether you'll pass this class or not. Well, this is a good example to show that it cannot be the other way. It doesn't, whether you'll pass this class or not, I'm worried. No, I'm not worried. That's not a condition. Okay, I'm worried about it. What? Whether you'll pass or not. Okay, so we don't use that following a preposition. You know that because it sounds terrible. I'm worried about that you're late. There's two, because these are two function words. So we're not going to put them together. However, and this is a good one, this is good for your writing, we could substitute the fact that. And then this will work. Okay, let's try it. I'm worried about the fact that you're late so often. I'm impressed by the fact that you showed up on time. Okay? So we can't do, I'm impressed by that you showed up. But I can do, I'm impressed by the fact that you showed up. This is useful for you. This will be useful for you. Okay, and finally, there are many verb and preposition combinations for you to learn. Now is the time to start learning them. Which verbs go with which prepositions? Talk about, right? Let's talk about life. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about what she's wearing today. Let's talk about going somewhere, Jared. Okay? Let's talk about goes together. I want to talk about what you did. I want to talk about where you went. I want to talk about why you're late every day. Think about. Okay, they just go together. Think about it. You know that. You probably know. Some of them are very easy. You know them already. And some of them are you don't have them. But let's think about what we're doing here.
Go to your room and think about what you did.
That's a good one. Go to your room and think about what you did. There you go. Okay, excellent. Worried about. Okay? Don't worry about what I said. It's not important. Okay?
I'm worried about.
Huh?
I'm worried about.
Okay, that's a noun. I'm worried about you. That's a noun. Now, I'm worried about your clothes. I'm worried about what you're wearing. Noun clause. It lets us express different ideas. I can be simple. I'm worried about you. But, okay, what about me? I'm worried about what you said. I can say, I'm worried about your words. I'm worried about your words. I'm worried about your language. No, I'm worried about what you said. And look, I can make it a nice long thread. I'm worried about what you said to me yesterday. It's a long thread, you know? Okay, and finally, and I think I will post something for you on the blog. I think I made slides, or I had students make slides of these combinations. I showed you with the passive, right?
Mm.
Yes.
Listen, the passive works too. I'm shocked by what she said.
Yes.
I'm interested in what you're doing. I was amazed by how he gave a presentation.
I'm worried about how she thinks.
I'm worried about how she thinks. Well, maybe. The grammar is correct. The grammar is correct. It might be awkward, but the grammar is correct. I'm worried that she thinks something bad about me. Because there's other ways. I could say, I'm worried that. I could be, I'm worried about something. I'm also worried that. I'm worried that she didn't understand what I meant. Oh gosh, that's many clauses in that sentence. I'm going to go through that more options with you. This is a long PowerPoint. This is just the introduction. finally, there are many adjective plus preposition combinations. And prepositions can be followed by noun clauses. So, adjective plus preposition combinations, happy with, I'm happy with what you did. I'm afraid of
What do you?
what you want. Okay, I'm afraid of what you're gonna do. I'm sad about.
What he did.
Thank you. Okay. I'm bored with what we're doing here. Okay? I'm frustrated with what we're learning. I'm angry with what you did. Okay, I'm angry with who you brought. No, is that good? I'm angry with who you brought to dinner.
I'm angry
Yeah.
with my
Huh?
I'm angry with my son didn't clean up his room.
No,
No.
I'm angry with, it has to be a noun clause. It has to start with a word. I can say I'm angry about the fact that my son didn't clean his room. We'll get to that. We'll spend more time on that later, okay? So this is my introduction. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this today. That's too much. Okay, does anybody have, so this is the conclusion of the first part of this noun clause lecture. Maybe I'll be able to get you back for the second part, but let me talk to Doug, okay? Does anybody have any questions or comments? I'm interested in what you have to say. I'd like to know whether you understood the lecture or not. Last week I was talking in passive voice. This week I will be speaking in noun clauses. I will be highlighting my noun clauses.
I don't know what
I'm
I
in-
can say.
What did you say?
I don't know what I can say.
Okay. And I will say we're going to reduce that. I don't know what to say.